part of the 20th century, many psychologists believed that an infant's mind was a blank slate. However, new research methods allowed scientists to gather data, and this view was eventually dropped in favor of the theories that viewed children as active learners. Behaviorism theory explains the aspects of human behavior that can be observed and measured. This theory focuses on behavior changes that result from stimulus-response associations that a learner makes. Advocates of this theory reward desired behaviors and punish undesired ones. Educational methods derived from this theory include contracts, consequences, reinforcement, and extinction, and behavior modification. Consequences occur right after behavior. They include positive reinforcement, such as smiling after correct response, negative reinforcement, such as removing homework if students succeed on a pop quiz. Positive punishment, maybe give a student a 0 for a late assignment, and negative punishment, for example, not allowing a student to go home on time if the homework is not done.
Jean Piaget's research involves a stage-based theory of intellectual development during childhood. It begins with the sensory-motor stage, where infants develop the ability to organize reflex mechanisms and to understand the permanence of objects and distance. From around the age of 2, toddlers enter the pre-operations stage, where they learn to use symbols to represent objects and events. Think in an egocentric way, and focus on one feature of an object. The concrete operation stage begins around age 6, and this is the beginning of reversible thinking, as well as an understanding of actual operations and how they are connected. Babies and young children take an active role in their learning. They are able to plan, revise, and also set goals. The final stage, formal operations, which spans from approximately 11 years to 16 years of age, is when adolescents learn to handle all combinations of objects or events and draw links between what is hypothetical and what is real. Piaget stressed the critical importance of action in intellectual development, as well as assimilation and accommodation are necessary for the child's ability to self-regulate, which is the key to becoming a logical thinker. The pedagogical implications of Piaget's theory include helping babies integrate sight and sound and allowing young children to explore their environments.
Lev Vygotsky's socio-cultural theory of intellectual development is the transformation of socially shared activities into internalized processes. Intellectual development begins with the dependence on caregivers, and gradually more responsibility for one's own learning is taken through or guided participation in activity. Another important aspect of Vygotsky's work is the zone of proximal development. This is the ideal learning space between the competence that one has already attained and the competence that one is capable of achieving with assistance. One of the pedagogical implications for Vygotsky's perspective is for the educator to understand the child's current developmental stage and provide something that is out of their comfort zone so they can reach their potential. Young children also have an early predisposition to learn about some things but not others. These forms of knowledge are called privileged domains, and educators need to recognize these domains to either cultivate children's interests or direct them to explore ideas that are not a part of their intrinsic interests.
The information processing theory assumes that there is a limited capacity of the mental system, that there is a control mechanism required for processing information. Some researchers believe that children's short-term memory increases as they become older. Older children process information faster, and they can therefore use their limited capacity more efficiently than younger children. Educators should take their children's limited but growing short-term memory into account. Strategies such as repetition could help young students to solidify new concepts. Clustering thoughts into groups also helps young children to overcome memory constraints.
Other researchers believe that children and adults have approximately the same mental capacity. As children's brain develops, they gain knowledge and find effective strategies to use their minds. More importantly, prior knowledge helps to improve performance, and therefore effective metacognitive learning strategies are very important in children's learning. Metacognition also includes self-reflection and self-regulation, which is the ability to monitor one's own learning process. Teachers should encourage students to reflect on their own learning processes and set up a plan or schedule for themselves to complete a project or an assignment.
Imaging technology and research data helps us learn about the development of the brain in children. For example, one finding suggests that we have an automatic and early preference to represent the magnitude of a number as if on a line traveling from left to right. Knowing how the brain works helps educators to employ teaching strategies that are more aligned with how the brain naturally learns. This helps educators focus on specific skill sets in students, as well as helping them strengthen the cognitive process to overcome their learning challenges. Yet another perspective on children's theory learning is provided by Gardner in 1991. His multiple intelligence theory highlights each 8 different intelligences that exist independently: linguistic, logical, musical, spatial, bodily, kinesthetic, interpersonal, intrapersonal, and the recently added naturalistic. Some educators influenced by this approach may teach to develop each and every intelligence directly, while others prefer to focus their teaching on specific intelligences that they feel are more important for children to develop in school.
Finally, research has shown that learning is very much influenced by social interactions between children and adults. Educators should provide learning environments that promote interactions between peers, as well as between students and the teacher. Group work and ongoing dialogues in the classroom are crucial to children's learning. Understanding how children learn is important because it provides insight on the growth of learning from infancy to childhood, and thus enables educators to create the optimal learning environment that will facilitate this growth.
While the Greek term pedagogy typically referred to the teaching of children, Malcolm Knowles, a leader in the study of adult education, was first to popularize the term andragogy, which referred to the theory and practice of adult learning. Based on 4 main assumptions, Knowles suggested adult learners differ from child learners in various ways. Self-directed. Both children and adults can be self-directed learners. As adults and children mature, they move away from being dependent on the learning environment and teacher to being independent learners. Children can be both problem solvers and problem generators and are self-directed in the areas that they are interested in. Experience. Because they are older, adults have more life experience than children, which they are able to draw from during their learning process. One drawback, however, is that due to their experiences, adults tend to be more fixed in their ways and beliefs than children, and therefore less open to new learning. need to know. Adults learn what they need to know. They learn things they need to be able to do or need to know in order to meet different needs of their lives. In contrast, children's learning is often motivated by their natural curiosity of the world and skills they will need in the future. Motivation. Adults are more intrinsically motivated to learn in order to improve their quality of life. On the other hand, children are more extrinsically motivated by grades or their parents' approval. There is much debate on the validity of andragogy as a theory of adult learning. A continuing area of criticism is to what extent Knowles' assumptions are only characteristic of adult learners. For instance, children can also be self-directed, independent learners, and adults can be greatly dependent on a teacher or learning environment for structure. In certain situations, some children may have different or richer life experiences than some adults, and adult and children learners can both be intrinsically and extrinsically motivated.
Universal design is a design concept that recognizes, respects, values, and attempts to accommodate the broadest possible spectrum of learning abilities and learning environments. It requires sensitivity to and knowledge about people of all ages and abilities. This universal model is a skeleton plan based on the types and needs of students. In order to design such a universal learning model, Bransford suggested to include 4 perspectives: learner-centered, knowledge-centered, assessment-centered, and community-centered. Learning theories provide important guidelines for teachers to develop such a universal model that includes technology for effective learning. The Internet allows teachers to design a learner-centered environment for students to take control of their learning process. By finding their own problems instead of just learning facts. In addition, it also provides tools to put knowledge at the center by providing hands-on learning experiences. Technology offers powerful tools from video-based problems and computer simulations to electronic communication systems that are not restricted to mathematics and science. RAS Reading Program is such a program that scaffolds reading for elementary school children. It has been proven that students who use computer-based learning tools develop a better conceptual understanding as referenced in how people learn. Moreover, technology also provides assessment tools such as comments in a Google Doc or Microsoft Word, Excel gradebooks, and various other grading programs such as FreshGrade or nGrade. Teachers should check district policies before using these tools. The use of learning management systems make assessment and feedback even easier. In addition, information about school calendars, various activities, and description of assignments can also be communicated to parents. The availability of various technological tools allow for a seamless communication between the teacher and students and between teacher and parents. These tools also make it easier for the students and teachers to collaborate with the community in the forms of blogs, electronic newsletters, and forums. Thus, inclusion of technology is a great way to promote 21st century skills. These include collaboration, critical thinking, creativity, developing transitive memory, increasing access to education through technology, and involving everyone in the decision-making process to meet the demands of the 21st century community. In order to promote effective use of technology, partnership is needed among teachers, administrators, students, parents, community, educational institutes, and the computer industry. Teachers also need enough time to reflect, discover new tools, and adapt practices. Online teacher communities such as LinkedIn, Pinterest, and Edmodo help teachers to collaborate with each other to improve their practices. In this presentation, we have explored various theories and perspectives on the learning process of children as well as their pedagogical implications. We also discussed the differences between adult and children learning. Finally, we went over the implications of these theories in the implementation of technology-enhanced learning environments. Our exploration has equipped us with the theoretical background needed to help children reach their potential. The practical applications that derived from these theories can be extended to enrich the learning experiences of students of any age. Thank you.